right, happy Saturday night to everybody. Hope you are doing well. We are back in Coors Field for the first of a six-game homestand for the Colorado Rockies as they just finished four games in San Francisco. But now we're back into the homestand. Ben, hello, good to see you. Hope you can hear me okay. I am on my little lavalier microphone, so hopefully that's working out okay. I got it clipped to my thing here now, just up close and personal. Hopefully you hear that. So that's what we're going for. Good evening, Chuck. All right, so why it would be, but we'll give him a chance. See if this thing will correct itself. And with that, go through all that trouble to get the audio right, and now it's intermittent. Are we back now? Let's see how it's looking on my phone. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's looking all right. Okay, we'll go with it. All right. So hopefully it wasn't too intermittent when I was doing the lineups. But anyway, starting pitcher, Jackson Jobe. I'm assuming it's pronounced Job and not Joby. So Jackson Jobe, 4-1 with a 4.22 ERA and 10 starts. There are four players on the bench for the players because they don't have enough at bats. The carded players on the bench are Andy Ibanez and Justin Henry Malloy. The two that are not carded are a third baseman by the name of Jace Young. I guess it's pronounced Young. It's Jung, and also backup catcher Thomas Nito. Young is a bad hitter. He hit 106 in 55, and I'm sorry, 47 at bats. He hit 106, so I'll be using the worst card for him. However, Thomas Nito hit 343 in 35 at bats. So if I need to use him, I'm going to use this card that has the 300 on it. I'll see it. I'll set that aside just specifically for Thomas Nito in case it's needed. Now that we carded, let's look at the bullpen for the Tigers, the available bullpen arms, and let's see how many righties and lefties there are. From what I gather here, there are 5 right-handers and 2 left-handers. Look at the 2 left-handers first of all. Tyler Holton is a lefty. He's in the bullpen for the Tigers, and so is Brant Herter. They're both left-handed and in the bullpen for the Tigers. The right-handers, we got Bo Brisky. I guess it's Brisky. I think it's pronounced Brisky. We have Chase Lee. We have Tommy Canley. We have Brendan Hannafy. And we have their closer, Will Vest. Will Vest had 23 saves. So he would be the closer role. So that gives you who's available and who's not for the Tigers. The Rockies lineup or roster is pretty much unchanged. Their starting pitcher is Chase Dolander. He was 2-12 with a 6.52 ERA in the real season. As I look at his replay numbers, Chase Dolander, see if I can show it on here to make where you can actually see it. Chase Dolander, there's I can get this B right here. Chase Dolander in 5 starts, 2/3 innings, 27 hits, 22 earned runs. Not very good. He is 2-2 though, with an ERA of 7.71. So 2-2 with a 7.71 ERA. Kind of scary numbers there. We're back in Coors Field where hitting is a premium. Why is it out of focus now? That didn't make any sense. Coors Field, singles are 19, home runs are 9. This game was played Wednesday, May the 7th, 2025, and it is game number 35. Dolander's a +7 arm, so it makes him a +5 hold. Jobe, his hold is a +5. -3 from Dingler knocks that down to a +2. So that's where we stand for everything. Well, there you go, Chuck. You come to this channel for a reason, not like those other channels. We're not going to have a walk or an unboxing every time we turn around, and we're not going to just sit there and talk about the games. We're actually going to play them. How about that? All right, so Kerry Carpenter will lead things off for the Tigers. Right fielder, Kerry Carpenter. And on the Action PC replay, Detroit is actually in first place in their division, 22-10. Rockies are 14-20 after splitting the 4 games in San Francisco. Yes, we're not using the same relief pitchers every game. I'm going to take the guys who pitch here in this game in relief and make sure they do not pitch. Well, I'll take that back. You can pitch 2 days in a row. You can't pitch 3 days in a row. However, unless this guy's like a closer or something, if I use a middle reliever in this game, I'm going to do my worst, or do my best rather, to put him at the back of the line and make him last in line. And if I run out of pitchers, then I'll use him. But I'm not going to sit there and wear one guy out. No, don't like to do that. All right. So I think we're about as good as we can get now. And we're going to start off with Kerry Carpenter. And is the sound okay? That's what I want to find out with this little lavalier mic that I'm using. It's a test, so I want to make sure it's there's no hissing or anything like that. So sound is fine. Okay, thank you very much. So the $20 was worth it then, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. That's what I paid for it off Amazon. It was $19 and stuff. Nothing, no big dollar stuff, that's for sure, because I'm too cheap to do so. All right, here's Carpenter. 2-5 for Carpenter. That's a double 1-17, single 18-20 right off the bat. And we got a double for Kerry Carpenter. No relation to Karen, I don't assume. And Gleyber Torres, second baseman, is up. And that's a 2-8. And that will be a pop out to short, where Trejo, the nameless player, will make the catch. I'll be so happy when their other shortstop comes off the injured list so I can have actual cards. It would be nice. Here's Colt Keith. It almost sounds like his name is backwards. It ought to be Keith Colt, but they call him Colt Keith, so that's what we'll go with. 5-7 lefty, and that's a walk. And of course, if you're gonna have a Rockies game, you got to have pitchers walking guys, and you got to have batters striking. Their own batter strike now. That's just the way it goes. All right, so here's Riley Green, left fielder, first and second, 1 out. That is a 4-8, and that's trouble for Dolander. 1-5 is a triple. 6-20 will be a single. And that is a triple for Riley Green. Did he have any triples? He had one, so we'll allow it. Triple for Riley Green, a 2-run triple for Riley Green. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead here in the first off of Dolander. The bullpens are well rested because there were 2 days, calendar days rest between games. Their last game was May the 4th. So they've had 2 days off. So the entire bullpen is rested. So that means the Rockies can go to the bullpen early and often if they need to, but they really don't want to do that if they don't have to. Here's Spencer Torkelson. The infield's in. They got runner at third, 1 out. Infield is in. That is a 5-12, and it's ground ball first base X. That is Goodman. I'm sorry, that is totally a 3-6. 3-3. That's going to get through for a hit, I believe, because the infield's in. I will double check it, but I believe a 3-3. Well, it's going to get through anyway. It was an SI1 to begin with. So it didn't matter about infield in. He was going to scoot through anyway. Base hit. And the E6 at first base, he's got to avoid 313 and 18, which he does. No error, but it is a base hit. It's 3-0 Tigers here in the first. Now, Torkelson, no threat to run. That'll bring up Zach McKinstry, left-handed hitting third baseman. 6-10, and that's a fly to center, 2 down. And that'll send up Dylan Dingler, the catcher. Never heard of him. 4-9, and that's a single to right field. Torkelson could try to move up. Moniak is a +1 arm, so Torkelson's a 12. Not being held is a 13. 2 outs is a 15. Going from first to third on a hit to right is 2 more to make it a 17. And then that's an 18. So 1 to 18, he'll make it to third base. And barely he does, but he gets in there. So it took a gamble and it paid off. But since Dingler runs less than 13, he stays at first base. If he would have advanced, I would have just cut the throw. But since there was no risk of advancement, I went ahead and let it go. All right, here's Trey Sweeney. Never heard of him either. That is a 212 for Sweeney, and he's going to hit a ground ball to short plus injury, but we're not doing injuries, so it's just a ground out to short. But the Tigers put 3 on the board and give Jackson Jobe a 3-0 lead before he even takes the mound. So Jackson Jobe, again, 4-1, 4.22 ERA in 10 starts. And he'll be facing Brenton Doyle. .212 for Doyle, and that's a ground ball back to Jobe, 1 away. And that'll bring up bring up Jordan Beck. We got Jackson against Jordan here. 1-6 for Beck, and he's going to get a base hit. Base hit for Beck. He's going to look to get a lead. He needs a 2 through 6 or an 11. Does not get it, so he'll hold. And that brings up Ryan McMahon, third base. 5-10, that's a walk. First and second, 1 out for Hunter Goodman. He is doing the catching today, not the DH. He's doing the catching. Martini is doing the DHing. We got a 5-8 right-handed, and that's a 1-4 double. 5-20 will be a single. That's a double for Hunter Goodman. It's a 2-star double, so McMahon will stop at third, but scoring is Beck. Lead is cut to 3-1 with 1 out and runners at second and third. Tigers with the infield in, trying to choke off a cheap run. Here's Tolia, and that is a 4-8, and that's a strikeout for Jackson Jobe, a big one. That is out number 2. Infield back to normal for the designated hitter, Nick Martini. Martini in the clutch will lose some hits, 1-2, 2-5, and 2-6. It's a 6-6, and that's going to be a walk, and it's going to load the bases for Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. That's the second walk for Jobe. So Moniak with the bases loaded, clutch situation. He gains a hit on a 2-3. Big spot here early in the game. That's a 2-10, and he's going to fly to the left, and that's going to end the inning. So Colorado gets 1, but they could have had a whole lot more. A shaky first inning for both pitchers. It's 3-1 Detroit after 1. Dolander will face the number 9 hitter, Javier Baez, longtime former Chicago Cub, former shortstop, second baseman. He still plays those positions, but his primary position in 2025 is center field. 4-6, and that's another walk. Just what they didn't need. Second walk issued by Dolander. Now we'll look at Baez to get the lead. He's got to have a 5. The only way he gets the lead. And he doesn't get it, so he'll hold. Back to the top of the order for Kerry Carpenter. And that's a 3-10. And that's a ground ball second base A. That's going to be a Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play. There you go. Up close and personal. 3-10. Ground ball second base A. That's a Giovanni's Tailor Shop. Tailor-made double play. 4-6-3. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. If you're in that area and you have tailoring needs, go by and see them. Tell them Demo sent you. They'll give you a discount on your purchase or on your order. They are the unofficial sponsor of the channel, but the official sponsor of the Giovanni's Tailor Shop, tailor-made double play of the game. 6-11 for Torres, and that's a split. 1-8 will be a single. 9-20 the line out, and that's a base hit for Torres. And Torres is no threat to run, so he will hold. Here is Colt Keith, designated hitter. 6-10, and that's a fly to center to end the inning. So nothing for the Tigers this time around. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-1. Oh, come on, Ben. You know you like those walk and talk videos. In fact, it was so good. There were 2 of them today, part 1 and part 2, because he knew he didn't get enough for part 1. Just had to have more. All right, here is Alan Trejo. He's a righty. 1-6, and he grounds at the first. Torkelson to the bag himself, 1 away for Adel Amador. 2-8, and that's a strikeout, 2 down. Second strikeout for Job. And again, if you haven't seen the Appa Chatter, his channel, he did a little, I guess, editorial video on these walk and talk things too. So pretty interesting, I thought. Here's Brenton Doyle, 6-7, and that's a single for Doyle. 2-out single, and now Doyle's going to try to get the lead. That's a 1, so possible wild pitch is a 3. No wild pitch, but Doyle can't get the lead now. So we'll move on to Jordan Beck. 3-11 for Beck, and he's going to ground it right back to Job to end the inning. So 2 innings in the books, and it's still 3-1. We'd like to keep. What do they say on those television shows? The names are changed to protect the innocent. But I don't know. So I won't say it. If somebody else wants to type it in there, then you can go right ahead. But I'm not going to directly say it myself. So, all right, here is Riley Green. He tripled his 2-run triple his first time up. 2-5, and that is a 1-17 single. 18-20 grounds out, and that's going to be a base hit for Riley Green. 2 for 2 for Mr. Green, and that brings up Spencer Torkelson. That is a 3-11 rather for Torkelson, and that is a fly to left field, 1 away for Zach McKinstry. And that's a 5-3, and it's a fly ball to left field. X looking at Beck. He's a 3-4. 3 and a 13, he'll get to that. E4 in left field, just has to avoid 3, 4, 15, and 18. And he does that with a 12. So he makes the play, 2 down. Hello, Robert. Good to see you. Brian B., I'll just say the initials are DG. D is in David, G is in golf, and I'll leave it at that. And let people try to figure out the rest of it. 3-9, and that's going to be a strikeout to end the inning. And that is strikeout number 1 for Chase Dolander. So we go to the bottom of the third. Yes, he's got a very popular podcast. He certainly does, which he inherited from somebody else who had a popular podcast. All right, here's Ryan McMahon. He also has a Patreon. You can pay him so that he has money to go out and buy more junk to unbox. All right, here is Ryan McMahon. Oh, that didn't go through all the way. Let's do this again. Whoa, just dropped everything around here on it. All right. 5-9, and that is a strikeout of Job, or by Job, rather. 1 away. McMahon is out, and here's Hunter Gooden. Okay, Brian B. If you never did anything else, then it wouldn't, like you said, it wouldn't matter then. It wouldn't, we could tell you his name, show you his channel, and you probably still wouldn't have recognized it. Ground ball to short, 2 down. Although I can't believe, as popular as that guy is, that the whole world doesn't know about him. I thought he was that popular, but apparently not. All right, here's Tolia. 1-6 struck him out. 4th strikeout for Job, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 4th, still 3-1. And that'll bring up Trey Sweeney. 2-2 for Sweeney, and that's a low max, but nobody else is on base. So just the first out. Nothing else happening. Here's Javier Baez. Good evening, Jason. Good to see you. Baez walked his first time. 3-5, and this time it's a 1-2 single. Anything else, he lines it to third. Should I roll this in here like some other? No, see, unlike some other channels, I like my dice tray to be a virgin tray when I roll this D20. I don't want any mess in here. So I immediately move that and roll it where it's fresh. And that's a 3, so that will be a line out to McMahon. 2 down. I don't want any clutter down here. Here's Kerry Carpenter. So I will take the extra time to remove the D6s and have a clean slate. 5-7, and that's a walk. And of course, we're going to have walks. And that's the 3rd walk for Dolander. 2 down for Gleyber Torres. That's correct. There's no roller derby here. 3-9, and that is a strikeout. 2nd strikeout for Dolander. And so since the first inning, he's kind of settled in, but Colorado's got to get some runs to make up for that first inning. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Both pitchers have 5 for their starting fatigue. And now Nick Martini, the batter. Yeah, Spokane Steve is playing a 66 replay. Usually every afternoon around 4:30 Eastern time, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Here's Martini, 5-10, and that's a walk by Job. By Job, he walked him. So that is the 3rd walk. Here's Martini, first base, and here comes Mickey Moniak, the Maniac. And that is a 4-8, and that's a strikeout for Job, his 5th. 1 away, and now the nameless player, Alan Trejo, or the cardless player that we use a nameless player for. He does have a name. It's Alan Trejo. Right-handed hitter. 1-3, and he's going to walk. 4th walk issued by Job. 1st and 2nd, 1 out for Adel Amador, 2nd baseman. Switch hitter. 6-5, and that's a strikeout for Job, his 6th. 2 down, and now it's a clutch situation for the leadoff man, Brenton Doyle. In the clutch, he will gain a hit on 2-8. Oh, Steve, I don't know him personally, but he seems very, what's the right word? Is congenial the right word? Just very pleasant, easy to talk to. Enjoys his replay, enjoys his cat. His cat Mookie is part of his channel, pretty much. So, as far as I know, everything I've seen, he's a very nice fellow, and got the best handwriting on score sheets of anybody I've ever. They almost look typed. His handwriting is so good. I'm kind of jealous actually, because my handwriting is terrible. 111, and that's a split. 1-2 is a single. 3-20, he lines out, and he lines out to Sweeney to end the inning. So we go to the 5th, and it's still 3-1. All right, and hello, Utah Mike, if I missed you earlier. So this is the fatigue inning. Fatigue inning for Chase Dolander, facing Colt Keith. That's a 5-6, and yet another walk. Wouldn't be a Colorado pitcher's inning without a walk. So Keith is walked, and here's Riley Green. He is singled and tripled. That's a 4-6, and that's a chance for another base hit. 1-8, 9-20. He lines to first, and he will line it to Tolia for out number 1. 1 down for Spencer Torkelson. 5-9, and that's an in-home run chance. 1-12. He's got normal power. 1-12 is a 2-run homer. 13-20 is simply a double, and that's a double. It's assumed to go to center field, so Keith will hold because Doyle has a -3 arm. With only 1 out, he will hold. So second and third, 1 more base runner, and Dolander will reach his fatigue. And Zach McKinstry, the batter, infield is in. For the Rockies, they have to cut that run off. 4-5, and that's a ground ball, second base A. That will freeze the runners. They will have to hold 2 down with the infield back. That would have scored the run, but in it does not. So 2 outs now, infield back to normal for Dylan Dingler in a clutch situation. And against right-handers, he loses 1 hit on 312. Everywhere else, he is neutral. 5-12, and that's a ground ball, first base X. We're looking at Tolia. He's a 3 and a 6, I think, because he's not holding anybody on. He should get to that. Yep, 3 and a 6 is a G3, but the pound's irrelevant. And he is an E6, so he's got to avoid 3, 13, and 18, which he does. And he'll flip it to Dolander covering to end the inning. So Dolander will stick around for the 6th inning. He carries a minimal amount of endurance into the 6th. And now in the bottom of the 5th, Jackson Jobe. This is his fatigue inning. He will face Beck, McMahon, and Goodwin. And speaking of Spokane City, he was the one nice enough to send me the PDF of this particular score sheet, which is a modifier of the Strat-B score sheet. It gives you a whole lot more room. It gives you 2 places to put pitchers, and I didn't need all that crap in the middle. I wanted the 5 or 6. You got room here for 6 pitchers for each team. On the Strat-B score sheet, you had room for 3 pitchers for each team. So much, much better. And there's also a dividing line between the visiting lineup and the home lineup. Just a much better presentation. I'm not sure why Strat didn't do something like this to begin with, but that's neither here nor there. All right. So here we go. Jordan Beck. That's a 3-10, and he grounds to short. 1 away for Ryan McMahon. Oh, that white dot didn't go through. Let's try that again. Dropped right out of my hand. That went over the top, so that didn't count either. Boy, I got to get this stuff straight here. There we go. That counts. 6-7, and that's a 1-4 double. Anything else, he flies to center. And that is a fly to center for out number 2 for Hunter Goodman. Hello, Bob. Good to see you. 4-9, and that is an in-home run chance. 1-6. He's got normal power. He leads the team in home runs. 1-6 will be a home run. 7-20 would be a double. And that is gone. The 5 means it's gone. Hunter Goodman goes deep. It's a solo shot, but it does cut the lead to 3-2. It's the Rockies a little bit closer. Here is Michael Tolia. Whoop, that hung up again. How does that happen? 6-7, and that's a 1-4 double. 5-20, he flies to center. And he's going to fly out to Baez to end the inning. So at the end of 5, it's 3-2. Tigers over the Rockies. Rockies do have action in their bullpen because Dolander is pretty much on his last leg. So we look at the Rocky bullpen, and they are well rested because of the 2 days between games. Their last game was May the 4th, and we're now May 7th. They had a couple games off, I guess, due to rainouts or whatever. So they definitely have a well-rested bullpen. They have Juan Mejia. Juan Mejia is loosening in their bullpen, a right-hander. Right now, Dolander facing Trey Sweeney to start the sixth. That's a 112 for Sweeney. That's a base hit for Trey Sweeney. Sweeney, he's going to look to get a lead. He needs a 7. Only way he gets a good lead is only 7. He doesn't get it, he'll hold. And that brings up Javier Baez. That's a 5-9, and that's a home run, 1-12. This is going to be it for Dolander, I do believe. 1-12 is a homer, 13-20 is a double. And that is gone. A 2-run shot for Javier Baez. And that just sealed the deal for Dolander. Probably should have cut him off after 5, but they were trying to get him a little bit more and didn't pay off. So he goes 5+. He will leave, and Juan Mejia will be coming on to pitch for the Rockies. We can close the book on Dolander now. 5+ innings. He's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got him for 9 hits, a total of 5 runs, all earned, 4 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And so his 7.71 ERA that he started the game with will now go up more, probably up into the 8s now. Juan Mejia is in. He's 2-2, 3.96 ERA with 1 save. Juan Mejia, he's a 1-inning pitcher, so his job is just to get through the 6th inning. He's a -3 hold, which makes him a -2. 5-2, Tigers lead it. And top of the order, Kerry Carpenter. 6-8, and that's a 1-12 single. Anything else, he lines to Tolia at first. And he lines it to Tolia at first base, 1 away. Here's Gleyber Torres. 5-6 for Torres, struck him out, 2 down. And that'll bring up Colt Keith. 1-6 for Keith, and he walks. You got to have a walk every inning. I mean, just almost mandatory. Except for the 3rd, it's been a walk in every inning. So just the way it is when you deal with the Rocky pitching. There's Riley Green. He's tripled and singled. 6-8, and 1-12 is a chance for another single. 13-20 lines to Tolia. And this one will be a base hit, 1 star. Put runners at first and second. Now a clutch situation for Spencer Torkelson. Clutch situation. Torkelson in the clutch will lose a hit, 1-8. And that's a 6-7, and that's a strikeout for Mejia to end the inning. So that'll do it for Mejia. The 2-run home run from Javier Baez gives the Tigers a 5-2 lead. Mejia goes 1 inning, gives up 1 hit, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And the Rockies will need a new pitcher in the 7th. Right now, the Tigers will let Job pitch into the 6th inning. They'll let him start the 6th inning, at least. He's only given up the home run. That's his only ding, so he's got some endurance. And he's got a 5-2 lead to work with, which is almost probably more important. All right, here's Nick Martini. 1-6 for Martini, and he grounds it to second, 1 away. Here's Mickey Moniak. Moniak the Maniac, 6-9, and that is a fly to center, 2 down. And that brings up Trejo, the shortstop. 6-4, and that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Baez. He's a 2-E4. 2-14 will get to that. E4, the only center field error on E4 is 4, 16, and 18. And he definitely avoids all that to end the inning. So that's going to be it for Job. He's going to go 6 innings. We will cap him at 6 innings. And they will go to their bullpen. So 6 innings for Job. Going to give up 2 runs. They were earned. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 hits. Did walk 4, and he struck out 6. And of course, he's in line for the win. Now the Rockies need another pitcher. So let's see who they want to go to. And for the Tigers, in the bottom of the 7th, looks like Bo Brisky. Brisky, I guess it's Brisky. Bo Brisky is going to be coming on to pitch for the Tigers. In the bottom of the 7th, he is a +7 hole, which is not good. But down 5-2, Rockies probably aren't thinking about running too much. All right, so coming in for the Rockies now will be Angel Chavilli. He can go 2 innings if he's effective. So Chavilli, and he's a 0, so it makes him a +1. So Chavilli will take on McKinstry, Dingler, and Sweeney here in the top of the 7th. 5-2 Detroit. Robert, these came from Spokane Steve. He emailed them to me in a PDF. They're like a modifier of the Strat Form B, but they're better. So, and I haven't done this in a while, so I'll do it now, I guess. Anybody that wants a copy of the PDF of this score sheet can email me. At that address, and don't hate me because I still use AOL. Told you I'm old school. So if you want that, email me. Just say, please send. You don't have to make a big email message. Just say, please forward PDF of score sheet, Strat score sheet, and I'll be happy to get it out to you. It's double-sided, which is nice also. So start the top of the 7th with McKinstry against Chavilli. 5-6, and that's a double for McKinstry. Cracks a leadoff double. And that will bring up Dylan Dingler. That is a 6-8, and that's going to be a ground ball to short A. That freezes McKinstry at second. 1 down for Trey Sweeney. And that is a 3-8 for Sweeney, and that's a ground ball pitcher B. So again, they're going to freeze the runner there. 2 down for Javier Baez in a clutch situation. He homered his last time up. In the clutch, he gains a hit on 3-11. Oh, that went over the edge. Let's redo that. White dot did not go through the chute. It went over the edge. There we go. Now 5-8, and that's ground ball second base X. Amador's a 4, so this is iffy. 4 and a 5 is probably a base hit. 4 and a 5 is a single 1 star, so that'll move McKinstry to third. Let's see if there's an error attached. He's an E14. Got to avoid 3, 15, 16, and 18. And he does avoid the error, but it's going to put runners at the corners with 2 outs for Kerry Carpenter. Chavilli. Hello, Dr. D. That's a 1. That's a chance of a wild pitch, a 1-13, and we got a wild pitch, and the run will score. And we do. So Chavilli uncorks the wild pitch to bring home a run. McKinstry will score, making it 6-2. Baez will go to second. And here's Kerry Carpenter. 6-10, lefty. That's a split. 1-11 is a single. 12 to 20 is a line out. And that's a single 1 star. It's going to again put runners on the corners for Gleyber Torres, former Yankee. Clutch situation for Torres, and he gains a couple of hits, 2-5 and 3-7. That is a 2-7, which is still going to be a single to right field. That'll score another run. Carpenter is most likely going to make third. Let's see. 13. Was he being held? He was not being held. Makes him a 14. There are 2 outs. Makes him a 16. Going from first to third on a single to right makes it an 18. Plus 1 arm's a 19. So 1 to 19. The only way he's out is on a 20. And he's in there at third base. So runners on the corners again for Colt Keith. Should be not faring so well. In fact, he's going to come out of the game. He's not even going to make it. Talk about trying to go 2 innings. He couldn't even make it through a full inning. They will go their left-hander, Scott Alexander, to face the left-hander Colt Keith. Try to finish out this 7th inning. Chavez is going to go 2/3 of an inning, and he's going to give up 4 hits. So far, 2 runs, but these 2 are his responsibility. No walks or strikeouts. But Scott Alexander is on now. And it's a 0 hold. His job is to get Colt Keith. 2 outs, runners on the corners. Keith against lefties is still going to lose a hit on 3-8. That's a 112, and it's a ground ball to Tolia, and that will do it. But 2 more runs for the Tigers. They take a 7-2 lead. Alexander will actually stay in because you got another lefty coming up to start the next inning. So we got a new pitcher for the Tigers, and it's Bo Brisky. I guess it's pronounced Brisky. Bo Brisky, 1-3, 6.55 ERA. That's the kind of guy you want to bring in when you're up 7-2. You can afford to give up a run or 2 and still be in good shape. He's not a high leverage guy. Save them for high leverage situations. Here's Amador, second baseman. That's a 2-9, and that is a double for Amador, leadoff double. Back to the top of the order, and Brenton Doyle. That is a 1-7, and that's a fly to center. 1 down for Jordan Beck. 5-8 for Jordan Beck. 5-8. It's a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman is Torres. He's a 3-E-6. 3-19 is good. E6. The only errors are 3, 16, and 18. And he avoids that easily. Amador will take third on the ground out to second, but now they're 2 away for Ryan McMahon. Still technically a clutch situation based on the rules. 6-3, and that's a strikeout for Brisky. So he did his job. He went 1 inning. He's a 1-inning guy. That's all they have for relief is 1. So he went 1 inning, gave up a hit, but nothing else. Got a strikeout. And we go to the 8th inning. It's 7-2, still the score. And actually, Alexander's just going to face the 1 batter. That's all he's going to face. They're going to have somebody else start the 8th inning. And that starter of the 8th inning will now be Jake Bird. And if he's effective, he can go 2 innings. But the bird is the word right now. Jake Bird, he's a -3, makes him a -2. He'll face Green, Torkelson, and McKinstry. There you go, Brian B. I don't autopilot things like that. I manage by feel and situation. No robotic managing here, and we love the double switch when we have a non-DH game. All right, here is Riley Green. That is a 4-6, and that's a strikeout for Jake Bird. Here's Spencer Torkelson. That is a 6-9, And that's another strikeout. So Bird's off to a good start. 2 strikeouts in a row from McKinstry. 2-12, and he grounds to short. So a 1-2-3 inning for Bird. He will definitely pitch the ninth as well. Not use any more of their bullpen arms. They've managed to keep their 3 high leverage relievers fresh, and Agnos and Kinley and Halverson are the 3 best relievers. So they will bring them out tomorrow. I've got them saved up for tomorrow. Since they're down 7-2, no sense wasting your best guys and having them fatigued for the next game of the series. All right, now Tigers need a new pitcher. And let's see who's coming up for the, let's see, it's righty, switch, and lefty. So they will go to, who do we go to here? They're going to go to Chase Lee. Chase Lee, he's actually a 2-inning guy, so he could actually finish the game. 4-1, 4.10 ERA, no saves. But of course, this is not a save situation when it's 7-2. So Chase Lee is on. He's a +1, which makes him a -2, but I don't think there's going to be running going on. We're down 7-2. Hunter Goodman is your batter. All right, here is Hunter Goodman. And that is a 1-9 for Goodman, and he strikes out. And here's Michael Tolia. 3-7, and that's another strikeout. 2 down for Nick Martini. That's a 3-3, and that's a ground ball to short. So Chase Lee, 3 up, 3 down with 2 strikeouts. And actually, I forgot he's going to try to go 2 innings. So we're going to leave him in for a second inning of work. He only faced 3 batters. So these numbers will probably change. So let's see. Bird is out to face Dingler, Sweeney, and Baez here in the top of the 9th of a 7-2 ball game. Bird did go 1-2-3 in the 8th. Here's Dingler. That is a 6-5, and for Bird, that's a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Trejo, 3E17. 3-19 is good. E17, no problem. You have to have a really high number to be an error there. So Dillinger is out, or Dingler rather is out, and here is Sweeney. 6-8 for Sweeney against the lefty is another strikeout for Bird, his 3rd. So Jake Bird, uncharacteristically having a good outing. Here's Javier Baez, 4-8, and of course you have the obligatory walk that had to be there. Baez could try to steal, but they're up 7-2, so they're going to call off the dogs on that. And Kerry Carpenter is your batter. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. Carpenter 1-7, and he pops it up to short to end the inning. So Bird's going to go 2 innings, give up nothing but a walk and 3 strikeouts. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, last chance for the Rockies. It's not a good one. Chase Lee back out for his 2nd inning of work. And he'll be facing Moniak, Trejo, and Amador, but we'll have a pinch hitter for Trejo. We're going to have Kyle Farmer pinch hit for Trejo. So it'll be Moniak, Farmer, and Amador. Those will be your hitters. Moniak, Farmer, and Amador. So Farmer pinch hits in the 9th, and if by some miracle they tie the game, he'd stay in and play short, but that's not going to happen. So, all right. So Moniak the Maniac, he's had a rough day. He is 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Moniak, 6-11. That's a ground ball to second, so he's going to go 0 for 4. Not going to help his average any. Here's Kyle Farmer. 1-6 for Farmer, struck him out. That's the third strikeout now for Lee. And it's up to Amador. 2-7, and he flies to right to end the inning. So we'll make that a 2. We'll make this a 3. And the Rockies, again, 10 strikeouts per game. That's about their average. And they come back home and lose the first game to the Tigers 7-2. Losing pitcher is Dolander. He drops to 2-3. Winner is Job. I have no idea what his record would be. For the Tigers, 7 runs on 14 hits. I don't believe any team made an error. And for the Rockies, just 2 runs and 5 hits. So maybe they had jet lag coming from San Francisco, but they've had 2 days off. So it could be that the 2 days off has made them rusty or something. I don't know. But either way, there you have it. And as we look to tomorrow night's game and get the starting pitchers for tomorrow night's game, as I look at the schedule, and I believe the Tigers won this game real world as well. I didn't write it in, but I believe they did. Let's see here. Tigers. Yeah. But they won it 8-6 in 10 innings, the real game. But either way, it's a loss, no matter which way you go. So the Rockies in real world now are 6-29. We are 14-21, still a +8 on the replay. Tomorrow night's game is actually a doubleheader, but I'm going to split those up over 2 days. I'm not going to play a doubleheader at, starting at 9 and going to like 11 o'clock. That's just ridiculous. So tomorrow's game, it'll be Casey Mize against Kyle Freeland. That'll be the matchup for tomorrow's game from Colorado. 3 games with the Tigers, and then the San Diego Padres come to town for 3 as well. So hope you all enjoyed that presentation of the Colorado Rockies replay. Remember, we're only playing the first 59 games to see what our record is going to be compared to their 9-50 overall record. We've already beaten that, but my new goal now is to get 20 wins. So there are 24 more games. Actually, 24 more games. So we need to go 6-18. 6-18. We go 6-18, we'll be 20-39. And that's the goal, to be better at or better than 20-39. That's the record we're shooting for in the replay. If we go 18-41, we'll still double the win total because the win total was 9. But anyway, so remember, I put my email in there in the chat if you want to scroll up, and if you want to email me and get a copy of this score sheet, it is front and back. You can see we flip it over, and I can write in the scores for tomorrow night's game. I set up the lineups for tomorrow night's game right on the back of this sheet. 2-sided, makes it very handy. And I use the original Form B to bear down on. And to do my Strat Basic games on, because it's 1962, you don't have that much in the pitching change department. But anyway, that's that. So hope you all have a great Saturday. Hope you have a great day tomorrow on Sunday. As we look into the programming part of things, we're going to have tomorrow morning, I've already recorded it, we're going to have the Sunday Basic Sunday game, 1962, and that's going to be Strat Basic. Sunday Basic Sunday, Giants and the Dodgers from Dodger Stadium. Sunday afternoon, it'll be pre-recorded, the final round of the History Maker Golf from Fort Worth, Texas. Final round, back 9, Charles Schwab Challenge. That'll be on History Maker Golf, and I'll probably post that sometime around 3 o'clock or so in the afternoon tomorrow. And then tomorrow night, around same time, about 9:15, we'll have game 2 of the Tigers and the Rockies. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you all have a great rest of your evening, whatever's left of it. It's kind of late here, but if you're on the West Coast or something, you got plenty of time. 10:17, so I'll probably go watch a little TV, or maybe I'll go turn on YouTube and watch some guy walk around his neighborhood. I don't know. Maybe I'll corner around my cards while I watch him walk around the neighborhood. That's a possibility. Don't underestimate how popular that would be, and how probably give me tingles doing that. So anyway, that's going to do it from here. Until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and we will see you all, hopefully, with this working lavalier next time.